Oh, okay. Well, it started me over from scratch here, so I'll probably have to set this up as two separate videos, or just ignore that first part. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm making a video record of what I'm up to here. As you can tell, I've got a few Volkswagens parked in my yard. And luckily, because most of them are fairly junk, I can cut them up or smash them up or do whatever I need to do to kind of learn what I need to learn on these cars. I own 300 of the old ones, which were much easier to work with. I showed some still pictures of this car when it first came in. This one had fenders and bumpers, but unfortunately the girl kind of ran into everything and bent up a tie rod and busted up both of the bumpers on the car, and did a pretty good job on the radiator. I'm probably going to end up having to replace the radiator. First I had to find a fan. That was expensive, but as you can see, she broke the front windshield pretty good. I guess she hit a statue and a fence and a ditch, and there was a pan underneath that's like a skid plate, and that was all bent up out of shape. But slowly but surely I'm working on it. I mean, this is not the original door, believe it or not. I had that other tan convertible sitting in the back there. I took the tan door off of that, and it's a perfect match. Down at the bottom there where I'm showing you had a bunch of big ass digs in it. It looks like yeah, it looked like a bear basically took the claws and just kind of gouged it up. But that's my project for the day. I gotta replace the window regulator in the passenger side door. I did the driver's side door already, so thankfully that's done. I had to, as you can tell, I haven't put the door panel back in, but I got broken glass in there. I already priced out a new windshield. That's going to cost better side of $400. As you can see, the front trunk lid is kind of munched too. I'm thinking I'm going to take the tan trunk lid off of the other convertible that I pulled the door off of and replace that. The trunk lid isn't too bad on that car, so I'm probably gonna swap them out. But first things first. First, I want to get the windows all working in the car. Then I'll call up the glass place and have them come over and replace the front windshield. But yeah, this car, somebody was like, I should just sell the car, and unfortunately got hit in the front. You can see where, I'm not sure what they hit, but I'm going to tear off the whole front end, and I've already got fenders and I've already got the trunk lid, the bumper, and the fenders painted, so that's ready to go. Yeah, I took the dashboard apart, as you could tell. I took that all apart and cleaned up a whole fresh set, so that's going to be all nice and freshly painted. And of course I did door panels, so both of the door panels are one. But here's the fun part. Now, in the back of a convertible, there used to be a wall there for the back seat, and as you can see, because the rain's coming in, it's beginning to rust everything, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to wire wheel that all down and hit it with some Rust-Oleum. And then the next magical trick is going to be building I'm going to build a rail setup for that, and then I'm going to see what I'm going to cover it with. I'm thinking 1/4-inch diamond plate might be nice. I'm going to do it in two sections. The back section there is going to be where the spare tire is, where I got all these lovely plastic bags. That's kind of wrapping up the electrical so that doesn't get all wet and messed up. And then that right there is the amplifier for the stereo. And of course, since I don't have a rear end anymore on the car, as you can tell, yeah, I gotta figure that. That's what I mean. To build this into a truck, I have to do some major surgery, because that little opening, you can't really get anything into that. So as you can tell on this red convertible here, I've started to carve that up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Not looking too good. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to save and not save, and you know, how I'm going to accomplish the opening for the rear. And if you look up front there where that black thing is, that was the original. That's what the wall looks like between the front compartment. See, that's what that car, the silver car, used to look like in the back before I carved that all out. So basically I'm working on it, and those two posts sticking up there on either side is where the seat belts bolt in. And what I'm thinking is I want to run a piece of heavy steel across there for a support structure, because when I cut that back part out, that was the back structure, that was a support structure for the back part of the car. And when I cut that out, of course, I lost all that. Now, the fun part is, well, I'm not going to use, I've decided I'm not going to use this window post. Like I said, I want to take the window post out of this car and turn it around backwards and shove it into the back seat and make a tan-out top, a short top across. You've seen the pictures on my Facebook page, what I have in mind. Unfortunately, this car got hit and this support post, and what I would do is take the support post and run it down into the back. See, this one's in good shape. And that would be what I'd be running in the back, where see, over on the sides there, they had windows, of course, and since I'm not going to need the windows for the pickup truck, so basically what would happen is, that section there would just be closed off, because what I'm going to do is run a piece of metal from the floor up to probably where the top of the window frame would be. I'm thinking that car over there, the window frame didn't get messed up when this car got crunched, so basically I can take the window frame out of this guy. The problem is, I've been trying to cut that window frame off of that car. You can see where I've hacked the crap out of it, and it's not coming off. I mean, I pretty much cut everything you could cut on that darn thing, and it's still attached. They did not, when they built these cars, they built them to make sure that they were going to take a major collision and not see how nice that is. So I don't know. I'm thinking I need a plasma cutter, and of course I don't have a plasma cutter, and I'm thinking those are going to be expensive, so I don't know. I got to see what I'm going to do with that. That's one heck of a project, trying to cut that front end off of there. But anyway, back to this. See, I still got the top on this car. I've been hesitating to take the top off. I actually was driving the car around for quite a while, even after I started cutting it up. But now that I've taken the rear end off of the car, see, there's the rear trunk lid, and I took the fenders and the bumpers in and actually took them in the shower and cleaned them all up. But yeah, here's Still got a lot of cutting to do in the back here. I started cutting up quite a bit here. As you can see, I've been hacking away at some of the support braces, because basically what's going to do is that speaker, those two speakers that are in the back here, are going to probably end up in the metal wall that's going to go in between the passenger and the truck part of the car. And since the seat belts are sitting right there, I gotta figure out, I'm gonna have to work around those, but that shouldn't be a problem, because the metal wall I'm gonna put up is gonna sit, you see that metal pipe right there? I'm gonna put the tubular steel right on top of that, and I'm gonna run it back to there, to where that edge is, and I'm probably going to smooth that down some, but I may leave that as a delineation between the front and the back. And like I said, what I'm going to do is set it up so that I can keep the spare tire in the back there. I was going to try to turn the spare tire upside down so you can mount it underneath, but there seems to be a bunch of support brackets underneath the car, and I'm not sure. You know, I've already messed with so much support structure in this car. I'm kind of afraid of that support structure. But yeah, I got to cut that metal out there, and I still got quite a bit of metal over here to cut. And then once I get this special stuff coming that takes and turns rust back into metal. So basically what I'm going to do is wire wheel all this stuff down. I still got to cut out all these stupid support structures for the convertible back seat. So it's still going to be fun. And then the part back underneath where the convertible top is, that's got to go. So I'm working on it slowly. What I want to do is, once I have that tarp over there that I'm using to cover the tan convertible until I finish fixing the windows. Unfortunately, I discovered the back driver's side window in the rear there is also not working, which is kind of, I don't know why, but these cars, that one window decides it's not going to function. So, but I am working on it slowly. There's just so much I got to do. If I could get this car back together, sadly, when I tried to move it, I discovered that there's some issue with the transmission. It's not engaging right. So now I've got another problem with this tan convertible. So, but I fixed the back window. I was surprised. I've been talking about trying to make some money repairing the back windows. The back window was falling out of this car, and I glued it all back in, and as you can see, it's nice and solid. I fixed it, and it's not leaking, and so I'm happy. I was hoping I could make like $200 for repairing people's back windows, and so far nobody's taking me up on the offer. You know, I'm sort of like, it costs $2,000. Well, it's $1,000 for the top and $1,000 for repairing it. This window I tried to repair on the silver convertible, and that was my first shot at it, and it did not work. So, so much crap you gotta figure out here. See, to put a bed in this, I gotta figure out where it's gonna come to. Then I gotta figure out the new back trunk lid, because of course once I widen the back trunk lid, I can't use the original unless I can just make a new skin for it. And but well, we got a couple things to think about. I mean, that's why I said I'm still working out all the details. What I'm going to probably do is end up cutting, see that top rail at the top there? I'm going to probably, I wanted to leave that, but I'm thinking to open up the back of the truck, I probably should cut that off too. So, like I said, since I got this car, is going to the junkyard sooner or later. Basically, I can do anything I want to it, and there's nothing left on the car that's usable pretty much. I've taken almost everything out. So I'm gonna play. Well, anyway, that's what's going on right at the moment. Like I said, I have enough cars here to practice with. That car, I was hoping to put that together and sell it, but that did not quite work out the way I hoped. But like I said, having tan parts on it, that's a completely tan convertible, so anything I need for my other convertible, they are pretty much interchangeable. Although that's a 2005, and this one is a 2008, so it's slightly newer. All right, well, that's where I'm at right at the moment. If you have any questions or comments or ideas, or, you know, like I said, I wish I could find a cheaper way to replace that windshield on the tan convertible. That $400 is going to be a killer, according to what's wrong with the transmission in the car. I have a feeling that's going to be bear and a half, but it's a $5,000 car if I could put it back together right. So it might be worth it. So there we go. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I've been somewhat educational. I doubt it. This was more for me than anything else, but who knows? Talk to you later. Thanks so much. Bye.